Shalom, giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai Bashem Rakakwadash Shalom to the 144,000 and the rest of the elect out there. Shalom to you all. Mosai is only coming to save the elect of Israel. Anyway, I'm going to entitle this video. I really haven't set up anything. I'm just going with the spirit and put in the keyword prophet. I'm going to be dealing with the blue letter and the other, whatever the name of this Bible online, which contains the Apocrypha. So anyway, I put in the word prophet. So I'm right here. The first scripture, let me do this. Take the word prophet. Only prophets can be prophets, if you know what I mean. Got a lot of false prophets out there. Prophet take breaks. Hey, King Marshall used to say, Satan don't take breaks, so you don't have to take no break. You shouldn't be taking no breaks. Well, guess what? Prophets don't take breaks. Amos 3, Most High have spoken, who can but prophesy? When the Most High speaks, who prophesies? The prophets. And Israelites too, because the Most High can speak to a woman, speak to a older Israelite, younger Israelite, boy, child. He can even speak through other nations. Balaam in the book of Numbers, which he was a Midianite, and he was killed by it later. He was killed by, I believe that's the 31st chapter of Numbers, and he was named too, of the chief men of Midian. One of the men was Balaam. He was killed by the Israelites. They came against him, killed all the men, killed all the married women, killed all the boys, and just saved the Midianite girls. And what do you think they do with them girls that were underage, by the way? What they would do is they would wait until they of age, then they would grape them and have other Israelites from, because like I said, and the scriptures say, even King Washar said that I remember he said it a couple of times. He said, we don't need the black woman to bring back the nation. We can bring back the nation with any nation's woman. And that's a fact. So you guys using the term half-breed, that's a white man's word. No different than a Semitic. Semitic. Anyway, so the very first, like I said, I don't know I'm going to go with this. I don't know how long this is going to be. Could be another long one. Could be a relatively short one. But like I said, I didn't put no precepts together, so I don't know where I'm going to go. Let the Spirit lead me, if the Spirit is on me. Anyway, I did a video yesterday, and I mentioned the movie, The Late Great Planet Earth, which is a great movie, and it was me and a friend of mine from high school, which he's a pastor, but I believe he's back in Cuba or he's in Florida or something. He's a pastor, but we was always into the scriptures, and then when I came to the truth, I was showing him certain things he couldn't see. Like we went into the conversation of reincarnation. Reincarnation not biblical, man. Then his wife, which I remember before they got married, she said, I can see it. And he said, shut up. He said, go in the room. You know, he's one of the Northern Kingdom tribes. But anyway, let me get back, and I'm going on into tangent. Anyway, if I'm saying that word right, I gotta look that word up so I can pronounce it the right way. So the first precept that comes up is Genesis, which in the Hebrew is the J's say Bereshith. So you can say, well, you can't speak the white man's Hebrew as I just did. Bereshith, Bereshith. In the ancient Paleo Hebrew is Barashya. Barashya. I'm sorry. Wait a minute. I gotta look it up. Yeah, Bada Ash, which is in the headings, in the beginning. So it says here the very first time the word prophet comes up and it's, by the way, it occurs 244 times in 227 verses in the King James version. So it's from Genesis to 2 Kings 5 verse 13. And then you have the word prophet that's mentioned in the Apocrypha. So that's could be another. Matter of fact, let me do this. Just because you're an Israelite doesn't make you a prophet. Let me go ahead and modify this. I'm sorry, bring this back. Apocrypha. Okay, so in the Apocrypha is mentioned, the word prophet is mentioned. And I didn't look up prophesy, prophecy, prophesied, prophecies, prophets. It's 22 times. So what I want to do is so the word there is in the Hebrew Nabaya, Nabaya, Nabi. If you ever heard somebody use the term, what is it, Tanakh? Do you understand Tanakh? Well, Tanakh means the first 5 books of Moses, the Pentateuch, the history, the writings, which is the history, Psalms and so forth, history, King David and so forth, and the prophets. So it's an acronym. Tanakh, Torah, Nabayim, and a Kathabia, if I said it right, which is the writings. And Christians don't know that. So when you mention I've been studying the Bible all my life. I went to, this seminary school and that seminary school. And you test them. You ask them, well, what does Tanakh represent? What does it mean? Then they're going to say, they don't know. They don't know. It's an acronym. Torah, prophets, and in the Hebrew, Torah, prophets, and writings. Kathabium. A lot of Israelites don't know that. Okay, so the word prophet, right? Prophet, prophecy, them that prophesy are the prophets, starting with the prophets, and then on certain Israelites, as the Spirit gives them utterance, and even unto other nations. Nebuchadnezzar, the king of Neo-Babylon, the Neo-Babylonian Empire, he saw himself in a vision, and he saw the destruction of this system right now. So he saw in a dream, spanning from this time here right now, we're in almost in 2024, all the way back to about 600 BC, BCE. So we're talking 2,600 years, more than 2,600 years. He saw a span of prophecies. So when somebody said, well, heathens can't get, nations can't get, they can get prophecies. And if they speak it, they sort of become a prophet. Balaam, same thing. He saw the end. He saw what Israel's going to do, and he said, I wish I could be an Israelite. And he wound up getting put to death, like I said. So it says prophet, prophecy, them that prophesy, prophet, variant. It says spokesman, speaker, prophet, false prophet, heathen prophet. Right, heathen prophet. I mentioned two of them. A prophet, or generally inspired man. Inspire is a compound word, in meaning in, and spire, aspired, to breathe in, to breathe in. That's what inspired mean. When you expire, you breathe out, you die. He expired. He breathed his last breath, so he's therefore expired. Inspired man, prophecy, that prophecy or prophet. So you got a lot of individuals that watch YouTube, and some of them found, they joined IUIC or ISUBK or GMS or this group or another group. And then you had groups that broke off. You had Sakari broke off, and that's a whole nother group, which is a good thing because they're out there teaching Israel. You can, I'm loosely paraphrasing, you can do nothing against the Lord before the Lord. I'm paraphrasing. I might not be quoting it word for word, verbatim. So you got a lot of guys that'll bring out a sign and say we're the Israelites and you white people are Edomites. But there's a lot of them that are not prophets. They just speaking. They think they're prophets. Like I said, prophets do not take breaks. That's a lesson right there. Prophets do not. In case you can't think of a lesson. Apostle Ramlab, Apostle Cabal, whoever. Prophets do not take breaks. So you got guys that claim that they're prophets, and they do disappearing acts. I don't got to name no names because I'll be here all day naming names. Any of you that do disappear, you ain't did this thing. You were strong for maybe a year, couple of years. Then you just did a disappearing act for maybe 3 years, 4 years, 5 years, 10 years. Then something major happens. Then all of a sudden you pop out like you never left. And some of them say, I'm back. What do you mean you back? Well, we never left. Hey, you see what happened? You see what happened to the ICGJC. That's a defrocked organization. I mean, they're still around, but they're not there. They're not out there on the highways and the byways. Nobody knows what's going on. Oh, you got to get lessons by being a member. They're not really on YouTube. So the Most High is not dealing with them. The Most High is going to utterly destroy them. They destroyed the leader. So let me just read around. I'm not going to read this whole thing. It says, one genuine prophet of, and the word here is Nabaya'ah, anciently called Ra'ah. Ra'ah. You can ask a Christian that. What was a prophet called before they were called prophets? 1 Samuel 9, verse 9. Before time in Israel, when a man went to inquire of the Most High, remember Rebecca, she went to inquire of the Lord. The Lord there, I believe the word might be Yahweh, but the Lord there is talking about the word Adawanya, meaning a superior to you, a prophet. Thus he spake, come and let us go to the seer. And the word seer means to see something before it happens. For he that is now called a prophet was before time called a seer. And the word seer in the Hebrew is ra'ah, which means to see in the future. We here at Great Millstone been telling you for years that the MOTB is coming, the microchip is coming. So when it's actually here, but it's not here on how can I say, geo. It's not something that the whole world in the oikomeni sense has to receive. But it's going to come. We stand by that. If it doesn't happen, then you can say you guys are false prophets. But if it does happen, which it is going to happen because it's already here, the technology is already here, you're going to get a big shakeup. And that's one of the major prophecies. There's, like I've been saying recently, there's 3 major prophecies left. 3 major prophecies left. The MOTB, the destruction, and the deliverance. So the last 2 prophecies, the destruction and deliverance, is going to happen simultaneously. It says change probably occurred in times of Elijah, and is first reflected in what is that? Ephraimitic source, literally as applied to Abraham. This is Genesis 20 and 7. That's the first scripture that comes up when you look up the word prophet. Moses, Deuteronomy 34 and 10. And there arose not a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom the Lord knew face to face. And that's in Deuteronomy, Numbers 12. Said the Most High dealt with Moses face to face. He said, I didn't deal with Moses like I deal with the other prophets in dreams and visions. You had to, is that a prophet? Is that a vision? The Most High came directly to him. Abraham was a prophet. And other early prophets Hosea 6:5. Therefore have I hewed them by the prophets. And hewed means to chop down with like an axe, but we hew you through the word. I have slain them by the words of my mouth, and thy judgments are as the light that goeth forth. That's that light. The children of this world are wiser than the children of light. The children of light are the Israelites, starting with the prophets. That's the Most High's man. As Awesome Beam said. This is Hosea 12, verse 11. Is there iniquity in Gilead? Surely they are vanity. They sacrifice bullocks in Gilgal. Yeah. Their altars are as heaps in the furrows of the field. It's Amos 2, verse 11. And I raise up of your sons 4 prophets. Not all Israelites are prophets. And of your young men for Nazarites. That's a vow. Is it not even thus, O ye children of Israel? Well, this right here proves that we got to remember this one. Because the Most High started with Israel, he's with Israel, and he's going to end with Israel. It's not going to be no thing called supersessionism, replacement theology, like Vocab says. Vocab is a lost soul. It said the prophets of ecstatic state. Okay, Numbers 12:6. Let's see what that says. Right, I did quote this. And he said, hear now my words, if there be a prophet among you, the Lord Yahweh will make myself known unto him in a vision and will speak unto him in a dream. As you go on, as you read on, it says, but unto Moses I came directly to him. This is talking about the coming of our Lord, which he was a prophet, but more than a prophet. And this is Exodus 7, verse 1. And Yahweh said unto Moses, see, I have made thee a God, lowercase g, to a Lord, over sir, superior, to Pharaoh, and Aaron thy brother shall be thy prophet. Because Moses said, I'm not a good speaker. So a prophet doesn't have to sound like Alexander Scorby. He said, I'm not a good speaker, but he was a prophet. So he said, okay, can't speak, I'm going to make you a god. And I'm going to make your brother the prophet, because he's a better speaker than you. You got guys out there that are good speakers, man. Fine speeches to deceive the hardest or the simple. And you got brothers that teach in a dramatic manner. That doesn't make them a prophet. They just play prophets on YouTube. So let's look at 1 Samuel 3, verse 20. And all Israel from Dan even to Bathsheba Dan is talking about the land. Bathsheba is talking about the land. Knew that Samuel was established to be a prophet of Yahweh. Like, look, this man, Samuel, is a prophet, a bona fide prophet. They knew that John was a prophet, a man sent from the Most High. That's why our Lord asked them wicked scribes and Pharisees, John, when he came, did he come from heaven or was he of man? And they said, well, we ain't going to answer. Because the people knew that. He said, nah, John was definitely a man of the Lord. He was the Most High sent him. So he said, because if they said that he was sent from the Most High, they would say, well, why didn't you follow him? So that was a trap that the Lord was setting. That's why they couldn't answer him. Okay, Judges 6, verse 8. Let's see what that says. Then Yahweh sent a prophet unto the children. And the Most High always deals with prophets. Hence, I said Orson Beams. I meant to say Orson Welles in the movie The Late Great Planet Earth. Watch it. You can watch it free on YouTube. Unless they change it up. It's a matter of fact, what I'll do, if I remember, I'll put the scene in the description. Anyway, he said the prophet is God's man. It says, Judges 6, verse 8, that Yahweh sent a prophet unto there it goes again, the sons of Israel. So why would the Most High change? All throughout the Old Testament, the Most High was dealing for, hear ye, O Israel, my people Israel, sons of Israel. The kings are all Israelites. The prophets are all Israelites. But the Most High going to change up. It says the Most High is not a man. The Most High changeth not. Therefore, ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Meaning you Israelites are not consumed. I said, I ain't changed. I'm still with y'all. Malachi 1. Wherefore do you say that I do love thee? I love Jacob and hated Esau. I still love you. So that didn't change in the New Testament, man. So that BS, that vocab is pushing, that nobody takes that guy seriously, man. He's just a fat squirrel looking for a nut. Which said unto them, and he's going to lose miserably. He better hope he's an Israelite. He better hope he's an Israelite, man. You better hope your father's line go back to the black Germans. What made Germany great were so-called black people. When the Edomites came in, pursuant to prophecy, they pushed out Jake. When you read about all those great German people, read about Beethoven and Amadeus, Wolfgang, Mozart, Amadeus. Those were Jakes. And they're back here today. Prince, that was Amadeus. And Mozart is Stevie Wonder. They were back there in another life. They were here to make music. It says, thus, my belief, I can't prove it. It says, thus saith Yahweh, the Most High of Israel, I brought you up from Egypt and brought you forth out of the house of bondage. But before that happened, it was prophesied. Abraham was a prophet. Abraham received a prophecy of Egypt being under the Egyptians, so-called Egyptians, Mizraim, hard bonded for 400 years. So you got Israelites that don't really understand the scriptures, and the Most High is not dealing with them in the spirit. That's a fulfillment of the 400 years in America. Nope, has nothing to do with America. We're organized in bands. Right, we're organized in bands. It says, I'm going right to the point, that thou shalt meet a company of, we're really supposed to be called companies and not camps. All right? We're really companies. Of prophets coming down from the high place with a psaltery and a tabret and a pipe, and they sung. Tenth verse. And when they came thither to the hill, behold, a company of prophets met him, and the Spirit of the Most High came upon him. This is talking about Saul. And he prophesied among them. And he said, behold, Saul is among the prophets. So the Most High put the Spirit on Saul to make him a prophet. So he prophesied. But the Most High took the Spirit away from him. It says, 1 Samuel 19, verse 20, and Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying and Samuel standing as a appointed over them, because he had rank, the Spirit of the Most High was upon the messengers of Saul, and they also. Ooh! Let me read that again. And Saul sent messengers to take David. And when they saw the company of the prophets prophesying and Samuel standing as appointed over them, the Spirit of the Most High was upon the messengers of Saul to take David, and they also prophesied. So the Spirit jumped on them. So I'm not going to read all this, but this is a, you know. Anyway, let's do this. Come on back. So the first time the word prophet is mentioned in the scriptures is Genesis 20, verse 7. And this is about Abraham. It says, now therefore restore the man his wife, which is Sarah, for he is a prophet. Did not Abraham prophesize? And that's Samuel for sure. I told him we were all together. It was Ariah, and I don't know if it was most of the seven. And I looked at them and we were talking about Samuel, and I said, Abraham is Samuel. So that means that Samuel is Elijah, and Elijah is Abba, so Abba is Samuel. Abraham, Abba. In the spirit. I can't prove it. And they gave me that look. They gave me that oh shit look. Oh shit. Exodus 7 verse 1. I already read that. Yeah, Deuteronomy 13 and 1. If there arise among you a prophet or a dream of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder. And we're telling you that the Karagma is coming. We're telling you that missiles, there's going to be a third world war. Armageddon is coming. And simultaneously, we're going to be delivered. Our Lord told the wicked scribes and Pharisees that he's the fulfillment of Deuteronomy 18, verse 15. The first time he said he was a prophet, he read the book of Isaiah, opened the scroll to Isaiah, closed the scroll, and said, "Today this prophecy has been fulfilled." So they looking at this guy, they said, "This nigga think he the Messiah?" He said, "Let's throw his ass off a mountain." The stone that the builders refused become the chief cornerstone. GMS is the chief cornerstone that the builders refuse. Deuteronomy, I read this, 34 verse 10. And there arose not a prophet since in Israel like unto Moses, whom Yahweh knew face to face. So the most important man of the Most High are the prophets, or is the prophet. Nathan. Nathan was a prophet that took over after Samuel. 2 Samuel 7 verse 2, that the king said unto Nathan the prophet, "See now, I dwell in the house of cedar, but the ark of the Most High dwelleth within curtains," or tabernacle, the tent, so if you will. The prophet Gad, David's seer. And David was a prophet. Read them Psalms. Those are them Psalms contain prophecies, Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, written by Solomon. Solomon was a prophet. That was the Lord. Song of Solomon, prophecies in the form of songs. Boy, there's prophet is mentioned a lot in First Kings. Let's jump on. Let me go over here. Come over here. Haggai was a prophet during the time of Zerubbabel. Came the word of the Lord by Haggai the prophet unto Zerubbabel. Zerubbabel is King David coming back. Let me look at this. Let me open this up. Zechariah 13 verse 5. I'm going to go up a verse or two. I may just start the first verse. false prophets ashamed. I'll start from the top. In that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David and to the inhabitants of your. So this kingdom is going to be the reestablishment of the house of David. The number one king is going to be David himself. Got certain guys saying, oh, that's talking about the Messiah sitting on the throne of David. Nope. The physical king, number one king on the earth, is going to be, that's the king of Israel. Over him, like General Yohanan says, I'm the second in command of under the Christ, he'll say. Well, if you're saying that, you're saying that you're King David. That's what you're saying. So you should just say, I'm King David coming back. Masha's not King David. I'm King, When you say that, I'm second in command only to the Messiah. You got a heavenly order. Michael is second in command to Yahushua. So you're not Michael because you're not in the spiritual realm. You don't have a celestial body. You have a terrestrial body. So when you say, I'm second in command only to the Messiah, you're saying that you're David. Just start saying, I'm David. I'm King David. Give me my throne. Give me my crown. If you look at it that way, when he says that, he's saying that he's King David. Ye 12 shall sit on 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. That's talking about the actual sons of Israel. Not no supersessionism Israelites. It says, in that day there shall be a fountain open to the house of David, this is the kingdom, and to the inhabitants of Jerusalem for sin and for uncleanness. Because in our kingdom we're going to be sinless. Going to be perfect. And it shall come to pass in that day, saith Yahweh of hosts, that I will cut off the names of the idols out of the land. That's when its destruction comes. And they shall no more be remembered. And also I will cause the prophets and the unclean spirit to pass out of the land. That means the false prophets and the righteous prophets, because there's not going to be any need for no prophets. Ain't no prophecy going to come out and say, this is going to be, our kingdom is going to be an everlasting kingdom, which is the Most High's kingdom. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of the mother. That's talking about now. There's going to be a time where people are starting to see, well, these guys ain't the most. I don't know, brother. These motherfuckers ain't, And they're going to see, like it says in the second Ezra 16, it said, then it shall be known who are my chosen. Then it shall be known the prophet has been among them. Because you got a lot of false prophets among the real prophets. You got the false prophets calling the real prophets false. Like I said, how do you know a guy's a prophet? Well, if he's constantly out there and he's hitting them scriptures right, and if he's saying everything backed up by the scriptures, he's got to be a prophet. Then you might look at another guy, well, I ain't seen you out here. Where you been, brother, for the last 5 years? Hey, like this guy, I even forget his name. He fell out from Chicago camp. He's been out so long, I forget his name. He had a rebellious group of men following him. They were talking about their prophets, and what happened? They ran out of gas. They closed their site. And I remember when they stopped doing it, and their brothers from GMS would go in there and say, what happened? No more videos? Then he would come back. Other people, where's your video? Y'all guys don't do no more videos. What happened? Oh, I'm glad to see you guys back. Well, guess what? You can never say that to GMS because we never left. We never left, man. ICGJC left. That's why they kept making, we're back with the fire. There ain't nothing happening in the ICGJC. All them guys in the ICGJC, they're just Negroes. They're just Negroes that's gonna eat it. They're gonna take that chip and they're gonna eat a missile. So let me read the third verse again. And it shall come to pass that when any shall yet prophesy, then his father and his mother that begat him shall say unto him, thou shalt not live, for thou speakest lies in the name of the Lord. Now this is not going to happen in the kingdom. No Israelite's going to jump up talking about their prophet. This is talking about now. In other words, people are going to start to see that the Most High is not dealing with this guy. And his father and his mother that begat him shall thrust him through when he prophesied. Ain't no Israelites going to be killed in the kingdom. And it shall come to pass in that day that the prophets shall be ashamed, talking about the false prophets, that the prophets shall be ashamed every one of his vision when he hath prophesied, neither shall they wear a rough garment to deceive. But he shall say, I am no prophet, I am an husbandman, a farmer, for man taught me to keep cattle from my youth. They're going to say, no, I was never out there prophesying. I'm just an Israelite. So what does it mean in the fourth verse? It says, and it shall come to pass in that day that the prophets shall be ashamed, every one of his vision. See, we put out the prophecy of the Charagma, right? And to be honest, it'll be nice if it didn't come and the Most High just, deliver us out of here. Then you can say, well, you guys are okay, that's something in the kingdom. But it's going to come. We wouldn't be teaching it since we got on YouTube that strongly. Then you got, remember, you got guys on the other side that every time we make a video on the Charagma, the C-HIP, the MOTB, they got to make a debunk video. So now when it actually happens, like I said, it's going to be a major shakeup. Anyway, I can go on. Let me give you a few precepts out of the, we're in the Apocrypha now, right? Ecclesiastes 48:1. You got to read this whole chapter. Then stood up, and I'm going to go into this. Then stood up Elias or Elijah the prophet as fire, and his word burnt like a lamp. You click on the whole chapter. Who was taken up into a whirlwind of fire in a chariot of fiery horses. It's not talking about actual horses, it's talking about a ship, a UFO, so you can understand. Who was ordained for reproof. What does the word reproof mean? You going off? The prophets are here to tell you that you're going off. That's why that situation happened in Chicago. We jumped up and said them guys were going off. So these guys that are saying, you guys are mighty lions and you did the right thing. Well, they're leading them astray, man. They said in their times to pacify the wrath of the Lord's judgment before it break forth into fury, and to turn the hearts of the Father unto the Son and restore the tribes of Jacob. What does it mean to restore? If something is broken, you put the pieces back together and you restore it, right? I mean, you can read this whole chapter. She, meaning wisdom, prospered their work in the hand of the prophets. The prophet is God's man. I hate to use the word God, but I'm quoting Orson Welles. And now, my son, depart out of Nineveh, because that these things which the prophet Jonas spake shall surely come to pass. Now, ultimately, they fasted, right? And they repented, but then ultimately Nineveh was destroyed anyway, because they went off again. Prayer of Azariah 1 verse 15. You can read the whole chapter or the context. It said, neither is there at this time prince or prophet or leader or burnt offering or sacrifice or makes me think of Hosea 3, the last couple of verses, or oblation or incense or place to sacrifice before thee and to find mercy. Key word here is prophet. So if you go back before Abba, before Cherry and Matthews and all these, when Jake was in slavery, you didn't hear about being an Israelite like you heard. The history goes into Nat Turner hinting that he was a prophet, he was an Israelite, that he knew he was an Israelite, and Denmark VC. So you always had men in slavery that the spirit was kind of dealing with them, but it wasn't dealing with them like it's dealing with us now. And on YouTube, you can't hide it no more. Ecclesiasticus 46 verse 15, and you can read the whole chapter. A lot of beautiful chapter. By his faithfulness he was found a true prophet, and by his word he was known to be faithful in vision. Let me open that up. Let me go into the context. It's talking about Samuel. Okay, this is a general scripture. And laid up the stones in the mountain of the temple in a convenient place until there should come a prophet to show what should be done with them. So let me open this up. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe, matter of fact, let me do this. Let me do this. Bear with me for a minute. I'm not going to read the whole thing. Okay, then Judas appointed certain men to fight against those that were in the fortress until he had cleansed the sanctuary. You know the whole story behind Antiochus and so forth. So he chose priests of blameless conversation, meaning they were, they were righteous men, such as had pleasure in the law, that knew the law, who cleanse the sanctuary and bear out of the defiled stones into an unclean place. Because when the heathens go up in there, they it's no longer sanctified. It says, and that shows you right there, the Most High is not dealing with these other nations. These other nations are unclean. When they were fighting against the Philistines, they called them uncircumcised dogs. '44 verse, and when as they consulted what to do with the altar of burnt offerings, which was profane, defiled. Profane means, when you look the word up, if etymology, the word means outside the temple, meaning this thing doesn't belong in the temple, it's unclean. They thought it best to pull it down, lest it should be a reproach to them, because the heathen had defiled it. Therefore they pulled it down and laid up the stones in the mountains of the temple in a convenient place until there should come a prophet to show what should be done with them. 47 verse. Then they took whole stones according to the law and built a new altar according to the former. So if an Edomite goes inside the inner court, that's a defilement. That's why they wanted to kill the Apostle Paul, because he had Gentiles going to the inner court, which those Gentiles were Israelites. In a Gentile state of mind. Samuel, the prophet of the Lord, Yahweh, beloved of Yahweh, established a kingdom and anointed princes over his people, meaning kings, rulers. Oh, here it is again. First Maccabees 9, verse 27. So was there a great affliction in Israel, the like whereof was not since the time that a prophet was not seen among them. So there's times in the history of Israel that they didn't have a prophet, and then the prophet would come. So we're in the time where the prophets are here. We are the prophets. If you waiting for some other guy to be the prophet, you're gonna be waiting. Don't hold your breath. It started with Abba, and it's gonna end with us, and the kingdom is gonna come. Why would I go out there weekend after weekend, year after year, in the winter time, summertime, spring? Why are we always dropping? We dropping videos every day. Sometimes the Spirit is on me. I drop a video 2-3 times a day. And I already know. I already know there's certain men in GMS that they're gonna put up videos today, or 2 or 3 videos. I already know. I know that for a fact. I know that Apostle Gabar is gonna put up a video or 2 today. I know for a fact that Apostle Rhyme Lob is going to put up either one video or a couple of videos. That goes with the rest of them. And we don't take no days off, man. And if we do for some reason, we mad, we pissed off. So the case with you had to do something, you got caught up doing something, you couldn't do a video, then the next day the Spirit gonna be on you, and you're gonna do 3 or 4 videos. Prophets don't take coffee breaks. They don't take breaks. Ecclesiasticus 49:7. Let's see what that says. For they entreated him evil, who nevertheless was a prophet, sanctified in his mother's womb. That happened to Jeremiah, and he might root out and afflict and destroy, and that he might build up also and plant. So what are we destroying? We're destroying these lies, and we're building it up with truth, right? You can't tell Jake that Jesus is a white man. When we was kids, they had the movies on Jesus. Every year you had the 10 Commandments. Ain't no niggas watching that bullshit. Because they know that the people of Israel are so-called people of color. It says, and I'm going to open this up. It says, 1 Ezra 1, verse 47, and he did evil also in the sight of Yahweh, and cared not for the words that were spoken unto him by the prophet Jeremiah from the mouth of Yahweh. The Lord speaks, who can but prophesy? Let me go into the context. So after a year, Nebuchadnezzar sent and caused him to be brought into Babylon with the holy vessels of Yahweh, and made Zedekiah king of Judea and Jerusalem, when he was 21 years old, and he reigned 11 years. And he did evil also in the sight of the Most High, and cared not for the words that were spoken, the king, talking about, were spoken unto him by the prophet Jeremiah, or Jeremy, from the mouth of Yahweh. And after that, King Nebuchadnezzar had made him to swear by the name of Yahweh. He forswore himself and rebelled and hardened his neck, his heart, he transgressed the laws of the Most High of Israel. So he didn't listen. This king didn't listen to. This was during the time period of Israel going into captivity. Get ready to close. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say shalom.